Thailand, an Indian wedding hub. Foreign films are really loving to come to Thailand to film. And we forgot to turn down the volume. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Coffee Culture and My Beach Resort, presented by Tim Newton and Jay. And as I began this opening, we could hear a chant on speakerphone on the streets of Asok, because, ladies and gentlemen, today is a public holiday. It's Chakri Day.
Now, you know all about Chakri Day, so over to you.
Well, I went one step further, and today's 2 Minutes Thailand is actually about Chakri Day.
Aha.
So you'll find out all about Chakri Day after the break.
So if I was to describe Chakri Day, I'd be going, it's a traditional Buddhist festival where Thai people will go to the temple, light incense, and they'll chant, and they will pray, and that's about it.
I don't know much about Chakri Day.
Okay, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. Yes.
But all these Chakri Days, there's 4 or 5 like really big, important Buddhist festivals every year. Today is one of them. So we and some of our English writing team, we've got Jordan, we've got Leah, got Tara, Jason's here, we've got Chai behind the buttons, and Jane. And that's about it for the entire office. So it's very quiet here today.
Yeah. We've lost Tara.
Oh, Tara's gone.
Tara didn't know that today was a public holiday. As soon as she realised it was, she left.
She's off.
Can't blame her. Do the same.
Oh dear. But to Jordan and to Leah, they've got the chains on, chained to the desk, so they can't go, even if they want to.
Unfortunately, someone must be sacrificed.
Yes. Because the news doesn't stop just because it's Chakri Day.
That's right.
And hello to all our, what do we call them? Commenters?
Viewers, commenters. How many people do we have right now?
Don't touch my computer.
205 people.
Hello, and I'm the door bitch today. I'm sort of going to allow your comments or not, so be nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm very tricky on the delete finger.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can use the timestamps after the live video.
But don't.
Skip to the part where we actually
It's all good.
Where we actually talk about
It's all good.
All right. Let's start off with our title today, which is about inflation. Now, Thailand's inflation has increased by 5.73% year on year.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, and that's the highest monthly rise in 13 years.
Now, governments around the world have got all sorts of tools they use to measure inflation, and a lot of them don't include some of the sort of the headline day-to-day business things. Like some countries, they don't include food, for example.
Yes.
But I'm not sure exactly how they measure inflation here in Thailand. But I know in the US, for example, a lot of the inflation figures don't include some key things. The inflation figure for places like the US and the UK in the last 2 or 3 months is thought to be up close to 20%, despite the numbers that are coming out from the governments. So inflation is becoming an increasing problem around the world. It was a problem before the situation happened in Russia. The oil prices were going up anyway. All the stimulus that governments were spending was just pushing prices up. So whose phone's that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Phone's going off chanting. It's crazy here today.
Yes. The report suggests that the price, this is due to the price increase in oil, electricity, and food due to the war currently going on in Ukraine.
So Sick Puppy said it well. He said, with all the money printing over the past 2 years, this is the stimulus the governments have been putting into the economy, plus the rise in energy cost inflation will be here for the next 10 years, but I'm not worried. I grew up in the 70s when we had really high inflation as well. So this is something that's not new. It's happened before. It's going to be a lot of pain for a lot of people, and it's going to put a lot of businesses already under stress.
Sick Puppy grew up in the 70s. Looked like a young man when we met him in Pattaya.
Cosmetic surgery. So the question, Jay, and the question to our team here is, what have you noticed in the way of inflation? What have you noticed costs go? I mean, there's some obvious ones.
Oil, petrol. That's what I've really noticed go up.
You put 95 grade octane petrol in your rolls,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
My rolls.
So I put 91. I think most people use 91 in most sort of standard pedestrian cars that us peasants use.
Okay.
So my Honda, it takes 91,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much been 40 baht a litre for the past couple of months, and that's shot up from the low 30s. When I first arrived here, it was 23 baht a litre, so it's shot up a lot since then. But the last 3 or 4 months, it's shot up a lot. Now, I go and do my weekly shopping up at Macro.
Yep.
Hello to the people at Macro, free plug.
Yep.
And my weekly shopping bill really hasn't gone up much, despite all those things that are sitting on the shelves have been delivered by trucks that use diesel. But the Thai government has put a cap on the diesel costs, so
Yes.
it is keeping some of these ongoing food costs down. But like when we go to the market here and we buy our...
I don't notice it at all.
the costs haven't gone up yet.
But even if it did, like if you're actually going to go buy groceries and the inflation causes the price to increase by 3 baht or 5 baht, it's not as significant to maybe someone else, you know.
Well, 3, 4 or 5 baht for a 50 baht pad thai,
Yeah.
that's 10%. So, I mean, it is actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this inflation situation unfolds here in Thailand.
In regards to that, even that 10% won't affect most of the people living here, at least in Bangkok.
Somebody said 91 in a Honda. Yeah? It's not a racing car. It's just a HRV, common old garden, petrol-driven Honda.
You're just going with the flow. You've got to take care of your engine.
Yeah, well, when you actually open up the petrol cap, it says 91. That's a bit of a clue as to what you're meant to put in it.
Sure.
There you go. Pork has doubled in price. There was the pork shortage.
Yes.
And that sort of drove up pork prices for a while. But that was actually nothing to do with inflation. That was some other pork shortage. I can't even remember what caused that now. The news changes so quickly.
It was something to do, some swine issue in Africa, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
I think he's making that up.
No. Give me 2 minutes. Fill the time. I'm going to figure it out right now.
Hand says, Tim, we went to Songkran Macro yesterday and we could not find Vegemite there. Can you have a talk with them about that? Hans, I've actually never been able to find some of those foreign products, those foreign favourites like Vegemite for Australians, for example. I've always gone to Villamart. Villamart, which is... well, sometimes a bit more expensive for the day-to-day goods. They do have good fresh fruit and vegetables, but usually more expensive than places like Macro or Big C or even Tops. It's going to get into a debate about which supermarket's the best. But I think...
Is it Villa Market that normally... We got our Vegemite in Villa Market.
Yeah, I've always found those sort of foreign favourites in Villamart. Villamart or Villa Market?
Villa Market.
Okay.
It's never known as Villa Mart. It's a market. It's like a shopping market.
Okay, I'm just going to check. I think it's Villa Mart, but
It's definitely not Villa Mart. It's Villa Market.
you're right, it's Villa Market. But I'm glad now I checked.
All right. Now you
Okay, you're right. One for Jay.
There we go. Demand for crocodile meat is surging in Thailand as the price of pork continues to rise due to a supply shortage caused by the spread of African swine fever.
Okay, but I think that's got under control.
Yes.
Yes, I haven't heard much about that the last couple of months. But thank you for looking that up.
You're very welcome. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. Now, we've got some pretty cool topics to talk about today. I did some research. Now, yesterday we were talking about the pre-travel PCR testing being scrapped, and we were talking about how it should be the post-arrival test that should be scrapped, not the pre-travel, because some airlines, some airports, some countries require you to have a PCR test before you travel.
Now, so within Thailand, you can travel on an aeroplane.
Yes.
Without a PCR test if you're fully vaccinated. If you are not fully vaccinated, they will require usually a PCR test.
Yep.
That's the only situation for domestic travel within Thailand.
Yeah. So I went on different websites of airlines to see what information they have on their website regarding pre-travel PCR tests and requirements. Now, Emirates, firstly, they said that transiting passengers don't need a COVID-19 PCR test. So if you're transiting using Emirates via Dubai, coming from London, New York, wherever you may be, you don't need one. So that's good. Thai Airways, actually there was very little information, but you don't need it if you're coming to Thailand. I even checked Delta, even though they're not really known for international travel. I think they're a domestic airline in America.
No, they do some international travel.
Do they? Okay. Yeah. Well, they have only information about coming into US. They don't care about people going out. So they basically said all travelers arriving into US, whether you're a citizen or not, require a PCR test. So you might need one while going back to your home. Singapore Airlines, unclear. Traveling to Singapore, you do need one. Same for ANA, which is a Japanese airline. Going to Japan, you need one. Qantas, good old Qantas from Australia, said they were the most ambiguous airline that said, you may need one. It's your own responsibility. So figure it out.
That doesn't, yeah. And what about Jetstar? Did you check them?
No, I didn't.
They're an offshoot of Qantas. It'd probably be the same policy.
Qatar said, transiting, you don't need one. It depends on your destination. Overall, I felt like it was really difficult to ask a simple question and get an answer. Do I need a PCR test before I enter your airline? Most of them said, check the requirements of the country you're traveling to, figure it out. And they also said that if you don't meet the requirements, you won't be able to go to the flight. So it's basically up to you to figure it out. So I'm like, but I'm coming to you for help because it's your airline, yet you're telling me to figure it out myself.
Dale's made a contribution saying that I'm flying Qatar next week from Phuket to South Africa round trip. PCR test is not needed going either direction.
Well, that's, I guess, because of the country's... It's the country's law. Like, if they're allowing you in without PCR tests...
There's going to be some airlines that are going to have guidelines, some countries that are going to have specific guidelines. Yep. But to come to Thailand at the moment, as far as the Thai government's concerned, and that reflects with Thai Airways, you don't need a pre-travel PCR test unless you're with an airline or coming from a country that do require it.
Now, there was a golden star in the sky. A last airline.
Is it Christmas already?
That's right. And they made life very easy, which was Etihad. Now, Etihad has a dedicated page where you'll get all the answers you're looking for. So as soon as you get to the page, they say, you don't need to test if you're vaccinated or under 16 or hold COVID-19 recovery certificate if you enter Dubai or if you're using the airline. And they also have a system where you can check where you're flying from and where you're going and whether you need it or not.
Okay.
So I checked, let's say, for example, London to Bangkok, no need for PCR test.
Okay.
Yeah.
With any airline?
Yes, and you can pick your origin and no, not with any airline, with Etihad.
With Etihad, okay.
Yes. And then I checked New York, and then they said basically, hey, it does depend on the requirement of your country, but to go to Thailand, you need a Thailand pass. And they had a website over there. This is how you apply for a Thailand pass. These are the 3 ways you can enter Thailand. And I was like, they went the extra mile.
They did.
Service, ladies and gentlemen. So Etihad.
I think the bottom line
Etihad.
on this...
Well done.
There are other airlines, by the way. The bottom line is you need to do your homework. And don't just assume that because to get into Thailand, as far as the Thai government's concerned, the Thailand pass has gotten rid of the pre-travel PCR test. You may still need one depending on who you're flying with and the country you are flying from. Do your homework. That's about all we can say, because there are so many variables within that. The airlines and the countries you're coming from. So you're going to have to check the situation. And, my God, she's all... sported up today.
That's right. Natty Warisa has entered the office. She's just come from
into shorts.
She just had a workout.
Okay.
She's an early riser.
Natty going to be useful and do the comments for me? No.
Possibly. Could Natty be the voice of God today?
The VOG. And some people also saying that Delta Airlines is an international airline.
Yes.
I've never seen a Delta Airlines plane in Thailand.
No,
Have
never.
you?
No.
So I don't think they fly to Bangkok.
But they
or
were one
to
of the
Phuket.
top searches when I was searching for
Sure.
airlines and
Big
PCR
airline.
tests.
Singapore Airlines says Hans from San Francisco to Phuket was awesome, but the 17.5-hour leg to Singapore, wow. Whoa. That 17.5 hours in an aeroplane, it better be good.
I think the longest flight in the world is Doha to somewhere in New Zealand. I'm not sure if it's Wellington or someplace in New Zealand. That was a fun fact.
Was a bit of a half fact. You didn't even know what the fact was.
Okay, here we go.
The longest flight, I think Dallas to Melbourne is quite long as well. A new one by Qantas, or Perth to London.
There we go. New York to Hong Kong, apparently. 16,618 kilometers.
How long does it take?
I have no idea.
Okay, and it's run by which airline?
Hold on. Just give me a second.
Okay, I'm asking questions. 212 Roger says Atlanta is Delta's hub. Thank you very much for that information. Atlanta. And Jay is looking up information
Singapore to New York is 17 hours, 31 minutes.
Well, that was about the same length as the one this gentleman did.
Yeah.
We do Sydney to Houston. Yeah, that's a long way as well. Houston in Texas. Yeah, I think Qantas is doing... Natty has taken up the position.
That's right. She's taken up the hot seat.
Natty has entered the building. Is she on mic as well?
Not yet. She just has to press the unmute button, and she will be.
Okay. So you might have to show Natty what to do, Chai. Chai's on the buttons today.
There we go. Natty says
Hello.
Testing. Natty, over to Natty. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, everyone.
I hope they can... ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you can hear her. It is the Natty herself.
I missed the 18-hour Thai Air Los Angeles to BB flight. BB? What's BB? Must be Bangkok, I suppose.
Can't be BB.
That's disappeared.
Bermuda.
On the A340s.
Bermuda.
Oh boy, the A340s have caused Thai Airways no end of problems.
Yes. All right. I've got...
Not because of the plane, by the way, but because of the way that the engines were procured.
All right, now the last topic for today, and before the break, apologize, is actually regarding the COVID hotline for Songkran.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Yes.
And just because we're talking about COVID doesn't mean that we're drinking the Kool-Aid, we're sheeple. All we're doing is reporting.
I'm sorry, Jason. Just called you Jason. I've been spending too much time with Jason editing.
Check his hair today, by the way. What is going on with that rat's nest?
This show today is very free flow, ladies and gentlemen. It's a
Yeah.
public holiday. Let's go with it.
Basically, we don't care.
Yeah.
So this is a hotline they're setting up.
Yeah.
So for people who are travelling with Songkran, there is going to be a lot of travel. And it's suspected that the case numbers will be going up after Songkran. So they've set up a hotline to answer.
That's right.
Oh, I've got COVID.
Well, it's for two different types of
Go
people.
home.
The National Health Security Office is ready to deal with the expected increase of COVID-19, which they expect to come with this coming Songkran. Now, they've got one hotline, 1330, extension 18, for elderly people, for pre-existing health problems, people with pre-existing health problems, and children under the age of 5. Those people will first be put in home isolation and then be granted help to find a hospital bed if needed.
If they need it.
If they need it. And everyone else can just report that they have COVID-19, and the 1330 extension 14, the people there will help you with your mild symptoms and even help you get medication for your symptoms if you want from a nearby hospital. So that's the COVID hotline, ladies and gentlemen. So
Okay.
you can use it if you need it.
So, yeah, I think we've got 96, I'm coughing now, 96 new deaths today and about 24,000 odd new
96.
infections. Yeah, so the number of deaths is slowly rising, but the number of new cases at the moment is sort of hovering up and down. It went down a lot yesterday, but it's back up to some 24,000 a day. But we don't want to talk about COVID because you get very antsy when we do.
You're just spreading fear-mongering.
Fear-mongering.
How dare you?
Dear,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we've got two amazing stories that are actually about weddings. Thailand becoming a wedding hub, as well as...
Another hub!
Thailand's the place to be if you want to shoot a film or an advert.
Yeah, this is actually quite exciting news.
And find out about Chakri Day with Nan.
Natty's walking away already.
Natty's left us.
She's had enough.
Oh, she's back.
going to get her food.
Yep. All right. And we'll be back with Natty as well after the break.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
And welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. You're watching the show with Tim, Jay, Natty, and Chai, as everyone else is off because it's a public holiday.
Well, it's not that they're off, it's just that they're not here.
Yes.
But Nan is here.
Nan, yes.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. She's in our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to Nan, a quick shout out to Coffee Culture. Thank you for sponsoring the show. You can buy the best Thai roast coffee and coffee capsules at coffeeculture.asia, as well as My Beach Resort. Now, we're going to be at My Beach Resort on the 11th and 12th of April.
That's Monday and Tuesday next week.
That's right, and the hotel's in Panwa, Phuket, and you can actually go and stay there and get a 10% discount with the code Thaiger.
And at 9:30 on Monday and Tuesday, you can come downstairs, grab a coffee, grab a croissant, look out across Phang Nga Bay.
9:30 a.m., yes.
And 9:30 a.m. and listen to Jay and me, even Natty if she wants to come, but I don't think she wants to.
No.
She's going to stay in Bangkok and look after the office.
Yeah.
And you can listen to us, rattle on and come and have a chat with us. So that's at the My Beach Resort.
That's right.
What is the website?
mybeachresort.com.
Easy as that.
You can find the link in the description below. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for 2 Minutes Thailand. This is where you get to learn about the different aspects and culture and history of Thailand with Nan. Today's topic is about today's public holiday, Chakri Day. What's it all about?
สวัสดีค่ะ Happy Chakri Memorial Day. Today is a national holiday in Thailand. I saw that Tim has written an article on the Thaiger website about why today is a holiday in Thailand. But let me tell you more about it. April 6 is a prominent holiday for Thais as they commemorate Chakri Memorial Day, which is a day to commemorate King Rama I, the founder of the Chakri dynasty, which continues to this day. The current king, Mahawachiralongkorn Parama Rashathiraj, is Rama X, the 10th Thai king of the Chakri dynasty. Chakri Memorial Day commemorates the establishment of the Chakri dynasty by Rama I in 1782. In 1919, King Rama VI granted permission to set the date as the public holiday for all Thais to commemorate the coronation of King Rama I and the work of all kings and loyal family in the Chakri dynasty. Rama I was the founder of the Ratanakosin Kingdom and the first monarch of the reigning Chakri dynasty of Siam. He was also celebrated as the founder of Ratanakosin as the new capital, which now is Bangkok. Government offices, schools, and banks are closed. However, other businesses are typically open as usual on this day, although it is a public holiday. The commemoration is always held on April 6th, which is only a week before the annual Songkran holiday. Did you get to have a day off or are you still working today? Please comment below.
And welcome back. We hope you've learned a little bit about Chakri Day. Now, look at that beautiful painting. You can actually buy that painting.
The one that Jet was holding.
This Thaiger t-shirt.
And these are signed, by the way. We sign them.
That's
Hand sign them.
Yeah, one by one. With our blood, sweat and love.
And a texter.
Yes. So yeah, you can buy that at the Thaiger shop, which is thethaiger.com/shop.
And shirts, we've got polo shirts, we've got the Thaiger mugs.
Yeah.
And they're very popular.
All right. So check them out.
There's also the Vanderbilt range of luxury goods. There's the watches, and we've got a deal at the moment. If you buy a Vanderbilt watch, you also get a painting and 2 shirts thrown in. So
Nice
pretty good
watches.
deal there. That's at the tiger.com/shop.
shop. All right. Let's move on to our next topic, which is regarding weddings. Everybody loves a good wedding.
Yeah, and there's one country that does weddings particularly well.
Yes.
And this would be a country that you
I know a little bit about.
you just know a little bit about.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The TAT, the Tourism Authority of Thailand, is promoting Thailand as a top Indian wedding destination. Now, it is a top destination for weddings, I think, for all different types of people, no matter what country you are. But in particular, they're focusing India because Indians do weddings well.
Oh, yeah.
And they take a long time.
It's sort of the basic Indian wedding. Does it go on for a few days?
Yes,
I know
it does.
They like to have their photography at a different location
Yeah.
from the actual wedding. I know that.
Well, a lot of people do that. So it's not necessarily you have 5 days of weddings. It's just there's different ceremonies on different days. So it's, one day is, just for the women. One day is, you're just singing and dancing. One day, it's like a preparation for the big day.
Chugsy said,
Yeah.
weddings are a scam. Keep it transactional, boys.
One day is for the
Oh.
actual wedding, and then you also
Cynical.
have post-wedding parties.
Okay.
You've got receptions, so Indian people just take their time celebrating.
Yeah, but there's also the dancing and the colours and
Yeah.
the costumes. It's a real vibe, an
Yes.
Indian wedding.
That's right.
And just about every single film made in India has got a wedding in it. I don't know why, but they have those big dances.
Yeah, and Thailand is already actually a popular destination for Indians, for their honeymoons, for weddings, for, like you said, what's it called, pre-wedding photography. Many people like to travel to places like Phuket, Pattaya, Khao Lak, Phang Nga, Krabi to go take some beautiful pictures.
Sure.
And they're trying to draw attention to Indian couples as this is targeting rather Indian couples is another strategy to bring more Indians to Thailand.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good strategy because we're talking about a country that's only 3 to 5 hours away, the flights.
Yeah.
And flights are just starting to resume. I noticed a flight coming in from India when I was flying out of Phuket on Monday. And it's such a big market, so close. And Thailand has got such beautiful areas that I think it's a pretty smart strategy for the TAT to put their carriage onto that particular train.
All right.
You're
Sorry.
just somewhere else today.
No, we had a spam on the chat. Every now and then, some person will come like webcams chat something, hot girls and boys video chat. Like I don't know who has this time, or maybe they're just bots. Like they just come and spam the live chat. So I just decided to block them quickly.
So, Nettie, you can jump in any time with any things that you'd like to bring up in relation
if you
to
see-
the comment section.
This is Natty's first time being the comments person.
The door bitch.
The comments person.
I was trying to find where that website was, that guy that spam. I'm like, where's this live chat? I need to get on it. And
Oh,
then
I
I couldn't
see.
find it. So I was like, never mind.
I see.
Spam, spam,
Oh
spam,
no, Natalie.
spam,
A very
spam,
exciting
spam,
morning
spam,
for you
spam.
indeed. All right, let's now talk about our last topic for today, which is regarding foreign films. But before we do that, a quick shout out to Salt and Vinegar.
Hi, Salt and Vinegar.
This was a gentleman yesterday who actually emailed us. He wanted to become a Thaiger member and he didn't know how.
Yeah.
So I just quickly helped him out. And he actually became a member. So thank you, Salt and Vinegar.
Thank you, Salt and Vinegar. Where's Salt and Vinegar from? Did we ascertain?
I believe his name is Will. I'm not sure where he's from.
Okay, we really appreciate your support. Thank you for getting behind the Thaiger and making this possible every day.
Thank you. All right. Our last topic today is regarding foreign films and adverts in Thailand.
Yeah. Now, I think a lot of people aren't aware how many films are actually made in Thailand, and they've got a burgeoning film industry here. Some very well qualified gaffers and DOPs and all sorts of people, and some good gear.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got some really pretty locations.
That's right. A total of 196 films, series, and adverts were shot in Thailand since July 2020.
So during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, generating 6 billion baht in revenue for the country.
Fantastic.
And you might ask, wait, how did they get into the country, or this entire film crew during COVID? Well, guess
Jay,
what?
how did they get into the country during COVID?
That's an excellent question, Tim.
Yeah.
Well, the CCSA granted special entry to film crews to take advantage of the film, the amazing talent that Thailand does have for its scenery, for its skilled force, and the empty beaches. So they allowed all these people to come and shoot movies, including Russell Crowe, who made headlines all last year.
As he used to sort of tweet and vlog and stuff.
That's right.
What was the movie called?
The greatest beer run
Something like
in the
that.
world or something?
Yeah, and also the latest Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes shot in Krabi.
Yep.
So they're two notable ones. I think if you type in the Thaiger top 10 films shot in Thailand...
Then you'll just see a picture of Vin Diesel on the front page. That's it.
No, that's actually wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll just make sure if I type in top
All right, you
10
go on it. But the
movies.
Ministry of Culture, ladies and gentlemen, plans to increase revenue by implementing more tax measures, because that's what every filmmaker wants to hear.
So the picture is not Vin Diesel. It is, in fact...
The Hangover.
It's The Hangover 2, which
Yeah.
was shot in Thailand.
So, yeah, they're going to actually increase the tax so that when these films do come and shoot in Thailand, they can generate more revenue from it. But then would they still come if the tax
Yes.
is increased?
The
Wouldn't
reason-
they go to other countries like Philippines, has islands?
They come here because it's relatively cheap. The film crews here are cheap when compared to some
Yeah.
Western places. And there have been tax breaks. But if they want to start to monetize it more, I think that's probably a shame.
And we've got many, like you said, we've got many lighthouses here, good gaffers, excellent production team, and they're quite experienced and fairly cheap compared to filming in any Western country.
The really interesting thing I find about the Thai movie and like TV industry is they're very prolific.
Yes.
Like a week wouldn't go by without a new film coming out. And the quality of the films, some of them are not to my taste, but the actual production values are very high.
Yeah.
They love their horror, they love all the funny sound effects. They
Thriller, scary movies, slapstick comedy.
Yeah, and
Love.
romance, drama,
Yeah.
drama. It's all got drama.
Yeah.
And in the comedies, there's always one over-the-top gay character every single time.
Yeah.
But the TV series, they just love their soaps and stuff. And then, of course, with the movies, the same thing. So what I find fascinating is that they're making it principally for the Thai market, because how many countries in the world have Thai as their national language?
0.
Well, one.
You mean Thailand?
Thailand, yeah.
Well, some Lao people can speak Thai, but
So that they get dubbed, of course, into other Asian languages and other Western languages too, because Thai soaps sometimes...
I hate it when they do that on Netflix. They put like a Thai movie on Netflix and then they change the title to in English, and it just sounds so crazy. Like it'll be like The Love Doctor Who Went to Pluto, and you're like, what? That's nothing. I mean, that's not even properly translated.
It was called Star Wars.
Yeah, Nettie's got a comment.
I actually don't have a comment from the audience, but can I make a comment to what you said about dubbing the titles
course,
on
No,
films?
no, you
Yes.
can't.
No, I'm going to say it anyways. You know, the Thai version of dubbing the English titles, you know, Titanic, right?
Yeah.
When
Yes.
they translated it, it was like the sink that sank into the ocean because it hit the iceberg. Like for
Yeah.
real, like nail
Yeah.
on the head. That was funny.
That's really it.
In brackets, spoiler alert.
Yeah. But I mean, who approved that?
Yeah.
Someone saw that and said, yeah, that's pretty much what happens in the movie.
So I'll ask you both,
Spoiler alert.
and Chai as well,
Yeah.
subtitles or dub?
Oh,
What do you prefer?
subtitles. Come on, you've got to make a little effort to listen to it in its natural way.
All right, so...
I don't want to hear some random voice actor going, "Oh no," to a Portuguese film. You know?
Going what?
I know you're watching a Spanish or Portuguese movie, and they're like,
G'day, mate.
you know, and then the guy's like, why would you eat those noodles?
Natty, dubbing or subtitles? Dubbing or subtitles?
It was the title of the movie.
No.
Oh, which
Do
one?
you prefer dubs
Oh.
or subtitles?
I like dubbing.
Oh no, Nathalie.
Okay,
Nathalie.
And Chai, dubbing or subtitles?
Dubbing.
Okay. I tell you what,
This young generation.
I'm going to burst your bubble as well.
No.
I go for dubbing as well because I've only got one set of eyes and one relatively slow brain. I can't watch the movie and read the subtitles at the same time. I'm not smart enough. So I'm much happier to have the words delivered to me with all the crazy accents. But in Thai, I've figured out all the English movies they dub into Thai, it's always the same three actors they use. There's one guy who's
Dubbing,
can't even do the voices.
Dubbing does have its benefits. It really helps people, firstly, who can't speak the language, and also, for example, when you make an English movie into Thai, Thai people sometimes can't keep up with the speed of the subtitles because
That's right.
Yeah, and I get that completely, but I just cringe every time I see an Indian movie in English or a Thai movie in English or a Japanese anime in English. Oh, s'il vous plaît. We cannot live our lives like this, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you say s'il vous plaît?
Yes, at some point you need to draw the line and just take the plunge.
Okay, so there's the other one is colorized or black and white.
Yeah, colorized. Let's be civilized, shall we?
No, black and white every single time. If it was made in black and white, stays in black and white.
You can see the movie The Artist in black and white. Have you seen that movie yet? No.
The Artist in
never-
black and
never-
white.
never mind.
But it was made in black and white.
Yeah.
There you go. They haven't colorized that, surely.
No, they haven't.
It would have been shot in color and then they just desaturated it.
Yes.
That's
Do you want to know a fun fact?
in industry stuff.
Do you know the first...
Is this as good as your other fun fact that you didn't have the fact?
Do you know the first motion picture in the world to have synchronized sound? So before movies, the sound and the picture weren't in sync. There was no dialogue because they didn't have the technology. Which was the first movie to have synchronized sound?
What's the mouse called?
Oh,
Mickey Mouse.
Yes, you're right.
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, well done. Well done. I know. Good job.
Cool.
Cool.
What was the movie that was in colour? First movie in colour.
Ooh, excellent. I forgot.
I think the first
no.
big one was The Wizard of Oz, where they have
Yes,
the
it
transition.
was The Wizard of Oz.
Had the transition into colour. Imagine
Yes,
that
Wizard
you
of
had
Oz.
spent your entire life watching black and white movies, and then suddenly on the big screen,
Yeah.
Dorothy in her red shoes
Yeah.
walks out onto the yellow brick road, and it was yellow.
We're off to see the wizard.
It would have been like a real
Yeah.
shiver down the spine moment.
Yes.
Robert Lomax says Tim should be used to subtitles. When he was young, movies didn't have sound.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks.
No. Oh no.
Bit rude.
Oh no. But anyways, actually, education ministers and officials are actually working to make filmmaking an elective subject in high school to encourage young Thai people to join the industry, and I think that's amazing.
Well, they're already getting a lot of training, from what I hear,
Would you
making their OnlyFans films. There's a
No, not
burgeoning.
that way. I mean proper filmmaking.
Well,
No, as an elective subject.
some of them are very artistic, Jay.
No, as an elective in high schools, I think it's pretty cool that
Chai
they're doing
told
that.
me.
I think Thai people in general are very creative. A lot of people join the film industry or photography as a hobby. I think just Thai people in general are just very artistic. They're very chill, like have the artistic vibe to them. So, getting filmmaking as an elective subject at a young age is great. Good move,
Yes,
Thailand.
I agree. And let's hope it happens. So another one of these polarising questions in the movie world.
Yeah.
Woody Allen, yes or no?
He's a strange person, but I like Annie Hall.
I like all his movies. Thug Life is also a fan. Says Woody Allen's movies are great in black and white. Yeah, most of them have been made in black and white. I
don't approve of his life choices, life and love choices, but
no. Look, I think moving aside his rather peculiar behaviour, he's obviously an extraordinarily talented movie maker. I don't think I've hated one of his movies. They're very eclectic. You either like his stuff or you don't. But I'm certainly a fan. Manhattan,
Hollywood's messed
masterpiece.
Up. Hollywood's messed up because
they
have a lot of strange directors who've done some awful things in life, but they're very talented and they do make good movies. Like every time you watch a Roman Polanski movie, you feel wrong.
Well,
if you know, you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to stop it there for now. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to address your questions.
It's the Natty Show.
It's the Natty Show. So keep those questions coming in, and we'll, you can ask us about filming. You can ask us about inflation. You can ask us about anything, really. So we'll be back right after this. And welcome back after that refreshing break. I hope you feel good, like we do, on Chakri Day.
How are you, mate? Probably from Australia.
Yeah.
Says, question Tim, you don't watch SBS Australia. I haven't watched a single second of Australian TV since I came to Thailand some 11 years ago, 11 years and 1 week.
That's just unpatriotic.
I haven't watched that. No, I digress. I have watched a couple of grand finals of the AFL.
That's just un-Australian.
So, well, no, watching the grand final of the AFL is not un-Australian. Excuse
me.
No,
not that part, but the fact that you haven't watched.
But otherwise, I haven't watched SBS, which is the multicultural channel, or anything else in Australia, and pretty much I couldn't care less.
What's AFL? You've got to watch the cricket.
Australian rules football.
No, I know.
Australian Football League.
I know. I was making a point that you should watch cricket instead.
Cricket is boring as batshit. Natty.
So Shupa says F. Will Smith, privilege. And I have a question for both of you. Are you Team Will Smith or Team Chris Rock?
Oh no.
I'm neutral on that one because I thought it was. I don't like violence of any kind. I think Will Smith could have handled it a whole lot better.
Yeah.
That it happened and has made so much attention, and that he's apologised profusely, stood down from his role at the Academy. I think now we sort of turn over a new leaf. So I mean, I don't think the comment should have been made originally. I don't think Will Smith should have responded the way he did. So that is my stance. I am neutral.
Yeah,
How about you, Natty?
I am not neutral. Actually, I'm Team Chris Rock, and just purely because I don't agree with what Will Smith does. You know, his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, she has this TV or rather YouTube channel called The Red Table. And the Red Table is all about accepting yourself, loving yourself for who you are. And the fact that she has alopecia, that is her. That is who she is. So I'm not sure why they got offended by saying like, okay, you don't have hair, you have too much white hair, you have bow legs or whatever, right? Like those are just things that you have to accept about yourself. And
I'm sorry,
for you,
I asked.
No, so my long answer to that is that I am Team Chris because I don't like the Smiths. So I feel like that's fake.
These comedians stick together, don't they?
They do.
They do.
They've got the comedian community.
All stick together.
But I think Jim Carrey, for all of his humor, summed it up quite well.
What did he say?
You cannot assault someone for saying words that you didn't like. You can't do that.
Okay. Well, that's yes, certainly. I do not support any violence in any kind, especially in an award show. So Will Smith stocks have gone from here down to sort of about here, I would say.
Yes. Taken away from everyone else's accomplishments. I don't even know who else won.
No.
Nobody cares.
What was Best Picture for the year?
Oh, Coda?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I don't know as
In
well.
fact, looking at the list of some 10 best films for the year, well, we had a look, didn't
Yeah,
we? I
yeah.
think we knew 2 of them.
One of the Roots members won
beg
an
your pardon?
Oscar. One of the Roots members, the band Roots, you know, they're the band at Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. I think
Okay.
Questlove won an Oscar. I don't even know for what. I missed it all. Thanks a lot, Will Smith.
Honest View says Natty is right. Here we go. The Natty show's started.
Yep.
You got any more there, Natty?
Nope.
Now, here's a very good comment. Ricky Gervais said worse, no one touched him.
Ricky Gervais he just gets away with it.
I
doesn't
think
he?
when a
He's cheeky, cheeky
comedian
man.
makes a comment,
Yeah.
you look at these celebrity roasts and things. I mean, they say some dreadful things.
Yeah.
But when it's said with humour and the people know each other, maybe there's a sort of a get-out clause. But the reaction was way over the top and unnecessary.
Ricky said that, no, I would never comment. I know he said I wouldn't make a comment on her alopecia hair. I'd talk about her boyfriends.
Okay, bring Seth MacFarlane back to the Oscars. Now, I haven't heard much of Seth MacFarlane
He's disappeared,
lately.
isn't he?
I was watching one of his shows last night. It's a sort of become a bit of a cult thing. Have you ever seen The Orville?
No.
The Orville was Seth MacFarlane's take on the Star Trek sort of genre. And it was made with a lot of love, but it was essentially a comedy. But as the series moved on, they made 2 series of it, it was spectacular, beautifully shot, the effects, the whole thing, stories, great acting, but it became less of a comedy and a bit more earnest until the last couple of shows were just like Star Trek episodes, but with different characters.
Seth MacFarlane. I think I might
MacFarlane.
is the one who
A&E.
invented
Family
Guy. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
it's the same guy. All
He's
right.
the voice of Stewie, who is my all-time cartoon favourite. I love Stewie.
Okay.
Who's Seth MacFarlane sort of doing trying to put on a bit of a Rex Harrison type voice.
Okay.
For those younger people, Rex Harrison was an English actor, a very posh English actor of the sort of 40s, 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And he was Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady. You still don't know.
Everybody loves Stewie.
I love Stewie. He is Bart Simpson, Stewie. That's where I see
my
it.
money, man?
Oh, he's
Where's my money?
a reckless character.
Getting real
Just
sick and
love it.
tired of this man.
Do you watch Family Guy, Natty? It's probably a little bit too... No, Natty likes comedy.
I do. I like them a lot. Yeah, they're funny.
It's evil. It's about as close to the bone as you can get. Anyway, the Orville was that... So the Orville, of course, probably named after one of the Wright brothers, who were the first to fly.
Flight, yeah.
Yes, Orville and Wilbur, I think were their names.
Okay.
So, yes, put that on your list, The Orville.
The Oval.
It's meant to be a comedy based on sort of Star Trek, but it ended up becoming quite earnest. But yeah, Seth MacFarlane, I think he's a great performer. Seen him singing in England as part of a huge ensemble at the Albert Hall.
Mm.
You're not even listening to me. There you
Sorry,
go.
I wasn't.
He was away with the fairies.
I am the comments man as well.
Tim, did you finish West Side Story? Larry, let me tell you. Now, I know West Side Story, there was a lot of hype about the Steven Spielberg remake of the 1962 classic. It's a movie that should not have been remade. It's one of the movies that they should... even Steven Spielberg, I didn't enjoy it. I've been watching bits of it. I've been trying to get into it. I've been trying to like it, but I don't.
Why do remakes? Seriously.
Well,
can we not be more...
Do you know why? Because it's safe. At the moment, we reported yesterday that numbers of people going to the cinemas are dropping. So the movie industry is in a situation where they have to go with safe bets.
Yeah, but look at all the remakes. Aladdin, Lion King, West Side Story.
Yeah, well, they've probably recouped their money. I mean, they're big movies. Was Aladdin, did it not make any money? How much did Aladdin make?
Well, it also had the great Will Smith.
Yes. But even Will Smith as the genie, probably
he was
not
actually the highlight of that movie. I mean, he was slightly annoying, but he was all right.
Didn't think he was the best genie.
He was the
They could
only
have
redeeming factor of that movie.
CGI'd Robin Williams. That would have been better.
Oh no, that would be
Natty.
Just a silly question here, but Walk ATM says Butthead and Beaver. I think he means Beaver and Butthead. Do you guys
Yeah.
watch that?
Yeah,
Not a fan.
I have a little bit. Yes.
Not a fan, but I recognise a lot of people really loved Beaver and Butthead and Beaver,
Yeah.
but whatever the order of them.
Here we go. More important question, especially for you. The Wu-Tang Life says, Jay, Tim and Natty, did you watch the Grammys? I did not watch the Grammys. However, I did watch some highlight clips on YouTube. Natty, did you watch
I only watch the slaps.
the what?
The slap.
The slap.
No, the Grammys.
Oh, the Grammys.
the
Oh,
Grammys,
wrong.
yeah.
No
Wrong
slapping at the
award.
Grammys.
No slapping on the
Then
Grammys.
clearly no. No.
Oh, no, Nathalie.
I watched the Grammys for one particular category and I walked away disappointed.
You were upset, yes.
I was upset. I watched part of the Grammys. It's an interesting bit low-key presentation this year. Didn't have a lot of pizzazz. But anyway, the Grammys are over for another year.
But your favourite band lost out to Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
And a favourite of yours.
I wouldn't
And
say
their
favourite.
and their big hit.
I don't know what she won it for. I just remember you were like, I can't believe BTS lost to Doja Cat.
Interestingly, in that same category, and some of our old listeners would appreciate this, there was an album done by Lady Gaga and the veteran, to say the least, whose name I've forgotten. I lost my heart in San Francisco. Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett,
Who's
yeah.
now he's actually got quite advanced Alzheimer's.
Oh.
But they somehow are able to get him to do these songs, these classics with Lady Gaga singing with him. And watching the video clips, quite emotional, watching Tony Bennett. Still got the voice, but I think Tony Bennett is... How old is Tony Bennett? I think he's probably in his early to mid-90s.
95.
95. Wow. So him doing the duets, and that was in the same category with Doja Cat and some others.
BTS.
I was sure Lady Gaga and Tony Bennett were going to win just because the Academy or the people that decide on the Grammy Awards would have supported that. But they didn't. Doja Cat got it, whoever they are.
Well, yeah, and BTS is close to your heart. You worked with them directly, indirectly, before they were famous.
Yes. A long time ago,
So
back in 2014.
You've got that loyalty to BTS.
Yes, before they were even known. But even then I thought, these kids are going to shake things up. And, the biggest band in the world. And they were robbed by the Grammys. Oh. They were robbed.
All right. I think we're going to end the show there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in on this...
Is there anybody still there?
...public holiday on Chakri Day. It's 332 viewers. If you're enjoying the show so far, please click the like button.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's the least you can do.
Or subscribe. 40% of you are not subscribed who watch the show.
We have digressed somewhat in the last 5 minutes, and we apologise if we haven't... Look, for those people that were just hanging out for us to talk about COVID today, we apologise.
Yeah.
We've let you down,
Yeah.
and we're very sorry.
Yep.
Jay's particularly sorry.
Yep.
Natty's
right.
not sorry at all.
No, Natty's not sorry at all. Natty's fresh from her workout this morning.
Natty, a question to you from one of our listeners. Your comedy show that you do, is it in Thai or is it in English?
In English.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've watched one of her shows, and I must say that she's spectacular.
So, can we see Natty on YouTube, or do we have to take a Thaiger camera to one of her shows?
We have to take a Thaiger camera to one of it's very exclusive. It's like a proper, comedy club vibe. I've never seen anyone take out their phone and take a video, actually. Everyone's there enjoying the vibe. You pay to get the experience. So, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah,
Look at the viewers, what they want.
Yeah, I told my mother I wanted to be a comedian. She just laughed at me.
Oh, there we go. One step.
Boom, boom. Ka-ching.
No ching. No. It was just a ba-bum.
Here I.
No final ching. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tim, for joining the show.
Thank you very much, Jay. And today is a public holiday. It's been a bit downbeat today, a little bit loose.
Yep.
Just a little bit loose.
No Thailand news today. We will be back with Thailand news today, tomorrow.
Yeah, Jet's got zero commitment.
Yeah.
So he's, hello, Jet, up there in Chiang Mai.
Jet's gone to meditate.
Oh, that's right. and Natty's filling in for Jet for the next week or so.
That's right.
Jet does this once a year. He goes into confinement.
Yes.
So what a day to go, but on...
Chakri Day.
And the question on everybody's lips is, does he get his head shaved?
Ooh.
Just imagine
We'll
Jet
find
without
out.
Jet
We'll
without any
find
hair.
out very soon.
Because Jet's nothing without his hair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a great Wednesday. If you are in Thailand, enjoy your Chakri Day. From wherever you're watching, we still hope you have a nice day. And thank you, Tim. Thank you, Natty. Thank you, Shai, behind the buttons. Thank you, viewers. Have a great day.
Thank you to the staff that have come in today too. Much appreciated.
Sure.